All right. Good morning, world. I am Eva Gilbert, and this is part of my story. I've been thinking a lot lately about my life and how there has been a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of people say to me, like, one thing is that I do too much. The second thing is that they tell me is that I must be Superwoman, which, I don't know. Probably am. There's a cape under here somewhere. But it's early morning and I just had it on my mind that I really wanted to tell my story. I want to tell my story in pieces. So this is going to be part 1 of my story. So I think I'll start with, I don't know. Let's start with my marriage, okay? So when it comes to my marriage, I was 17 years old when I met my husband, Jacob Gilbert, okay? I was Eva Nicole Webster at the time. And I graduated high school. He was fresh out of the Marine Corps, stationed in Pensacola, Florida. Beautiful place. And we just met, coincidentally at the jewelry store that I worked at. I worked at a jewelry store where we kind of like targeted military men and women and tried to sell them jewelry based off contracts. So that's how I made my money. Anyways, my husband, I actually didn't meet him when he bought his jewelry. I met him when he was returning it. And my boss was working very hard to convince his friend to keep his jewelry, right? While he was convincing his friend to keep his contract, his jewelry, I was going ahead and I was returning what my husband had bought. He had bought some stuff for his sister, his grandmother, and his mom, okay? Now, if you know my husband, this is legit. He loves his grandmother, he loved his mom, he loved his sister. Over the moon, okay? Mama's boy, baby of the family. I myself am the oldest, okay? If you know some science, there's some science behind that, but we'll get to that another time. Anyways, so my husband, he thinks I'm cute, and I'll say I was pretty fly, I had a nice, businessy suit on. I had black pants, and apparently when I turned around, I had a spot on my pants, and he told me, "Hey, you got a bleach stain on your ass." And I was like, "So you're looking at my ass?" And he was like, "Yeah." And that started it all. So my husband was talking my ear off, and I did not like him at all. I was like, in fact, kind of annoyed by him because he wouldn't shut up. I returned his stuff, and instead of leaving with his friend, he stayed and continued to talk to me. So my boss was staring me down, and I just told my husband, "You know what? If I give you my number, will you leave?" He said, "Yeah." So I gave him my number. And at that point, I did think to myself, should I give him my real number or a fake number? I decided real number was best because if I gave him a fake number, this mother trucker's gonna come back. I could already tell. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I think I got it wrong," or something like that. So I went ahead and gave him my real number and proceeded to tell him that I was not allowed to have boyfriends at that time. I was only 17 years old, still living at home, and he believed me. And I told him if he wanted to hang out, we could be friends. So, of course, my husband was fine with that. So we became really good friends from that point on. But he did make sure to let me know that I was hot, and he would get with me at any time if I wanted. That's our beginning.